Hello there, Blessed Sacrament families. It's time to learn how to play Saints Alive. Every kid in our Faith Formation program this year is going to receive a deck of Saints Alive cards. The entire deck has 112 cards in it. For your starter pack, you'll receive 21 cards. Throughout the year, as you come to Faith Formation or participate in the life of the church, you'll collect or earn the rest of the cards. The object of the game is to be the first person to put a card in all 7 saint types: Bible saints, missionary saints, teacher saints, caregiver saints, Marian saints, contemplative saints, and martyrs. Let's learn about what kinds of saints we'll find in each of those categories. Our first category of saints is Bible saints. You can find the names of many saints in the Bible, including Jesus' first followers. All of our saint pictures are drawn by our youth minister, Mr. Justin Rose. He's drawn our Bible saints all holding Bibles in their right hands. Our second category is missionary saints. Missionaries are people who travel to other parts of the world to tell people about Jesus. Our missionary saints are all holding out crosses, ready to share Jesus' message. Our third category is teacher saints. There are many saints who have shared Jesus' message as teachers, writers, and translators. All of our teacher saints are drawn holding an apple, a symbol of teachers everywhere. Our fourth category is caregiver saints. Many saints have spent their lives caring for others, and our caregiver saints are all drawn with their arms spread wide to give others a loving embrace. Our next category is Marian saints. We all know that Mary is the mother of Jesus and our mother too. She's appeared to many people to share her love and wisdom throughout the centuries. All of our Marian saints have blue crowns on their dresses. Contemplative saints are saints who spend their lives in prayer and contemplation, and they're often rewarded with great wisdom and sometimes even miracles. All of our contemplative saints are drawn deep in thought. Our last saint category is martyrs. Martyrs are people who are killed because of their belief in Jesus. They join Jesus and all the saints in heaven. Our martyr pictures are all drawn kneeling down, ready to give their lives for Jesus. We have one more saint card type, our Jesus card. Jesus is perfect. He has all the good and holy qualities of all the types of saints and more. So you can play Jesus as any type of saint. He's a wild card. You'll also find included in your deck 14 prayer cards. We all know that prayer is an essential part of our lives as Christians, and of course, an essential part of the lives of all of the saints. There are so many ways to pray. Sometimes we use prayers that we've memorized, like the Glory Be or the Our Father. And sometimes we just talk to God in our hearts and say what we're thinking and feeling, like the little girl on our gratitude prayer card. You'll also find in your deck 12 Life in the Church cards. Participating in the life of the church is another essential part of being a Christian. We are not Christians just by ourselves all alone. We're part of a community, and we gather to pray, serve others, celebrate the Mass and the sacraments, learn about Jesus, and just enjoy being together, just like the first Christians of the early church. Now that you know all the card types, it's time to learn how to play. First, shuffle your deck and place it face down on your draw pile space. Begin the game with 2 cards in your hand. 1, 2. Let's see what we got. Saint Sebastian and Saint Matthias. When it's your turn, draw a card. That'll give you 3 cards in your hand. Who'd we get? Oh, we got a Life in the Church card. Go to Faith Formation. Play a card in one of the saint type spots, one of the prayer card spots, or one of the Life in the Church spots. We're going to play Saint Sebastian, the martyr saint, right here in the martyr spot. If the saint you played has a power, You can choose to use that power now, but you don't have to use it. Our Saint Sebastian does have a power. It's written here at the bottom of his card. And we'll talk about what powers are in a minute. If you can't make a play, discard a card. So here we have a saint already in our Bible spot, a saint already in our contemplative spot, and a card already here in our martyr spot. And those happen to be the 3 cards we have in our hand. We can't play any cards, so we have to discard. Bye-bye, Saint Sebastian. If you fill up 3 prayer card spots, there we go, 3 prayer card spots, then discard those 3 cards. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Then refresh your deck by shuffling your discard pile into your draw pile. Well, there they go, into the draw pile. If you fill up 3 life in the church cards, once again, you'll discard those 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And then you get to take another turn. So I'm going to draw another card and see what that is. Okay? You win the game by being the first person to fill up all 7 saint types. So here we're going to play Elizabeth of Hungary and win the game. Are you ready? Here she goes. And we're the winner! Yay! All right, let's talk about those saint card powers. Some of the saint cards have powers that can be used when you play them. If you're playing the game with younger players, you can decide just to play the game without using the powers. More advanced players can play it using the powers. So one of those saint card powers is refresh your deck. And St. Elizabeth of Hungary has that power. St. Elizabeth of Hungary was known for giving bread to the poor. She was a Hungarian princess, and she used to go out into her kingdom and give bread to people. So because she gave refreshing bread to the poor, she allows you to refresh your deck. So here she goes. We're going to play her, and then we're going to refresh our deck. So that just means we're going to take our discard pile and shuffle it into the draw pile. Our next saint card power is draw an extra card. We're going to play Saint Monica. And Saint Monica has the power to draw an extra card because she prayed for her son Augustine to be drawn back to the church. And he eventually was and became Saint Augustine. So we're going to draw an extra card. Here we go. Let's see what it is. Oh, Saint Sebastian. This means on our next turn, we'll have 4 cards in our hand when we draw instead of 3. Okay? All right, next one is take another turn. So we're going to play Mary, the Mother of God. And Mary has the power to take another turn because she said yes to God. So we're going to draw another card immediately. See what we got. Oh, there's St. Sebastian again. He keeps popping up, doesn't he? And we're going to take our second turn and play St. Michael the Archangel. Our next saint card power is a change card. It allows you to change a certain type of saint into another type of saint. So when you play this card, you can change either one of your own cards or one of your opponent's cards into a different saint type. So I'm going to play Saint Gabriel. There he goes. And Saint Gabriel went to Mary and told her that she would be the mother of Jesus. So because he is in the Bible and because he also spoke to Mary, he allows you to have the power to change a Marian saint card type into a Bible saint card. So we just played Saint Gabriel, and then we're going to use this power on ourselves and move Mary to the Bible saint. This means that on our next turn, we can use Saint Joseph and play him here in our Marian saint spot. Okay? You can also play your change card on your opponent. And if you tell your opponent to change a card, you might force them to discard it. So look at the way our opponent is set up. So I've just played my St. Gabriel card, and I'm going to tell my opponent now to change his Marian card into a Bible card. And when he does that, look, He already has a card there in his Bible card slot, so he has to discard his Mary card. Okay? Our next saint card power is discard a card. This is going to allow you to discard a card from your hand and draw another. So we're going to play Our Lady of Guadalupe and San Juan Diego. This story is a miracle that Our Lady caused to happen for San Juan Diego. She asked him to prove to the bishop that she was speaking to him by filling his tilma, his cloak, with roses that bloomed in the winter. And when he went to the bishop to show him the beautiful roses that Our Lady had given him and dropped them at the bishop's feet, the bishop saw the roses at his feet, but he also saw a beautiful picture of Our Lady imprinted on Juan Diego's tilma. So, because Our Lady caused roses to fall down from San Juan Diego's tilma, she allows you to also discard a card from your hand. All right, so I just played Our Lady of Guadalupe and San Juan Diego, and I won't be able to play either of these two cards on my next hand, so I'm going to discard St. Hildegard of Bingen and draw another card. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's St. Denis, and I have a spot for him on my next turn. All right, that was a good draw. Okay, so your starter deck that you received on your first day has all the cards you need to play the game. You received 2 of each saint type, 3 prayer cards, and 3 life in the church cards, plus your Jesus card. Jesus is that wild card that you can play as any saint type. Here's who you receive in your starter deck. St. Matthias, who replaced Judas as one of the 12 apostles. St. Michael the Archangel, who's in the Bible in the book of Revelation doing battle with Satan. You'll receive missionary saint cards, St. Gabriel the Archangel and St. Luke. St. Gabriel went to Our Lady to tell her she'd be the mother of Jesus. And St. Luke is the author of 2 books of the Bible, the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of the Apostles. And he accompanied St. Paul on many of his missionary travels. In your teacher saint category, you'll receive Blessed Carlo Acutis and St. Jerome. Carlo Acutis is a very recent saint. He only died in 2006, just a few years ago. He was an English teenager who was diagnosed with cancer, and he loved computers, and he loved Jesus and the Eucharist, so he made a website of all the Eucharistic miracles in the world. I think he's pretty cool. St. Jerome was a priest who translated the Bible from the original languages of Hebrew and Greek into Latin. Your 2 caregiver saint cards are St. Francis of Assisi and St. Elizabeth of Hungary. St. Francis of Assisi is pretty famous. He was an Italian saint who spent his life serving the poor. And St. Elizabeth of Hungary was a Hungarian princess who served her people by giving them bread in the streets. Your 2 Marian saint cards are Mary, the Mother of God, and St. Joseph. Everybody's favorite parents, right? Your contemplative saint cards are St. Hildegard of Bingen and St. Monica. St. Hildegard is one of my favorite saints. She was a person who knew everything about everything. She wrote hymns, she knew about plants, she knew about medicine, she wrote poetry, she had visions. She's just super cool. And St. Monica, like we talked about before, prayed for her son Augustine, and he returned to the church. Your 2 martyr cards are St. Sebastian and St. Denis. St. Sebastian was martyred during the 3rd century, and soldiers tried to kill him by shooting him with lots of arrows, but he didn't die. And then he went to tell the emperor about Jesus, and then he was killed. And St. Denis was a bishop of Paris in France when it was illegal to be a Christian. And he was beheaded for being a Christian. And then he carried his head around and preached a sermon about returning to Jesus. Your starter deck also contains 3 prayer cards. All the other prayer cards this year you'll have to earn, but these 3 I'm giving you because they're prayers that I think you already probably do. The gratitude prayer is just when you count your blessings and thank God for them. The ambulance prayer you'll pray when you hear an ambulance siren, and you just pray for the sick person, the person's family, and the healthcare workers who are taking care of them. The 5-finger prayer is one that Pope Francis suggests for us. He says on your thumb, pray for the people who are closest to you because your thumb points to you. For your index finger, pray for your teachers and healers who point the way. Your middle finger is the tallest, so pray for the leaders. Your ring finger is your weakest finger, so pray for the sick. And your pinky finger is the shortest one, so you can pray for your own needs last. Your starter deck also contains 3 Life in the Church cards. The remainder of your Life in the Church cards you'll need to earn, but these 3 I know you earned on your first day here. Go to Faith Formation, you're already here. Go to Mass, I know you're going there next. And when you go into church, I know you'll bless yourself with holy water from the font. And of course, your starter deck contains your Jesus card. All right, so today you received 21 cards, but there are 112. If you want more than just your starter deck, here's what you need to do. First, come to Faith Formation classes. Every class you'll collect another 3 or 4 saint cards to add to your deck. These 6 prayer cards you can earn by memorizing the prayers and reciting them to your catechist or to me, Mrs. Cathcart. The Hail Mary, the Mealtime Prayer, the Guardian Angel Prayer, the Glory Be, the Apostles' Creed, and the Our Father. These 5 prayer cards you can earn by trying this type of prayer and telling your catechist or me about it. You can try praying the rosary, you can pray for someone on their birthday, you can pray before you go to bed, take a walk in nature, and appreciate God's beautiful creation, and come to Mass. These Life in the Church cards you can earn just by doing this thing in the church. This one is Bring Food to Food Collection Sunday. That happens the first weekend of every month. Go to Coffee and Donuts, where you can meet more people from Blessed Sacrament. Give money to the collection basket anytime you come to Mass. At the beginning of Lent, go to church on Ash Wednesday. Go to Children's Liturgy of the Word. Go to Stations of the Cross during Lent. Go to the Sacrament of Reconciliation, or if you're too young for reconciliation, just pray for God's forgiveness for your sins. At the beginning of Advent, make an Advent wreath, either here at Blessed Sacrament at our Advent event, or at home with your family. And attend a baptism. There's an opportunity every month at Blessed Sacrament to attend the baptism of one of our newest parishioners. You can also earn these 14 saint cards just by learning about the saints on your own. So find out the name of the saint, the feast day, when they were born, when they died, what they're the patron saint of, and 3 facts about the saint. 1, 2, 3. And then draw a picture. You can give your fact sheet to me, and I'll give you the saint card. I hope you'll have a wonderful time this year collecting and earning cards for your deck and playing the game with your friends at Faith Formation. At the end of the year, you'll be able to take home one of our game boards and your deck of cards to play at home with your family. Have fun, everybody!